Good evening, everyone, and I'm here with another episode of Pro Wrestling Society podcast. So I got an update for you guys. Sting is returning to Impact Wrestling to work backstage. Reportedly, um, he's trying to help them find new talent um, and the old school veterans to help the company grow. So I thought that's pretty cool, pretty neat. Um, as many of you know, I'm a big fan of Sting. I think that he he knows what makes wrestling great. Um, so I really think that he's gonna bring in uh, some really good wrestlers as far as quality goes, because he's just a legend. And I think more people should respect the veterans and actually listen to what they have to say, because they're the ones who who built themselves from the ground up and put so much effort into what they do. And that's why I don't really respect too many of today's wrestlers, because it just seems so half baked what they do. I mean, uh, they don't put in the work as uh, on the same level as the old school guys do. And uh, it just it seems like they think that they can just do a couple of flashy moves, and then they'll get popular with the fans. I mean, they might, but because the fan base has changed. But I mean, I don't really, not really my thing. I'm not like that. I like when I see somebody, a wrestler, really put in put in the the energy and the effort, and the and actually develop a character. It'll show through the appearance and the walk and the moves and the talk and everything. Um, so I really think that Sting would do a very good job in helping Impact out. So I'm pretty excited for him to come back, even if he's not going to be in the ring. Um, it's going to be a great. He's going to be a great asset. Um, just because of who he is. That's pretty much all I had to say about it. Um, as far as the now I'm going to move into the next topic, which is the Attitude Era, and why I think it's overrated. That might be a controversial opinion, but that's what I believe. Um, and here's why. From my understanding, Vince Russo reportedly drew inspiration from the WCW, and uh, he made it controversial by adding a bunch of curse words, what he called crash TV, where he had cursing, adult content, profanity, everything that has to do with adult themes. And there's nothing particularly wrong about that, but the problem came that that just became the main focus of the Attitude Era. It's like uh, it's like that was all it had to offer. It didn't really um, have anything else of substance. Other the only exception is the Stone Cold gimmick, the storylines. Um, the Undertaker, um, Kane, uh, maybe The Rock, even though I'm not a fan of his, but uh, Mick Foley, um, D-Generation X, stuff like that. That's where I think it was really solid. Um, but even then, I had problems with the matches. They were just, for some reason, compared to the other eras, the matches were just bland and boring, and and just not exciting as far as the wrestling goes. Uh, and and some angles uh, and segments were just pointless. Like they were trying to be funny, but it just didn't work. It was just goofy and uh, and just immature. um, and as far as the what they called it, the divas, or can't remember what they were called, but they had them flash whatever. Um, you know that was not really appealing to me, because if I wanted to see nude women or whatever, I would go watch porn. Simple as that. I wouldn't be watching wrestling, or whatever. You know, to I wouldn't need it. And and so yeah, pretty much why I think that the Attitude Era is overrated, because um, just because of the way it was just structured, and I think it only gives fans only recognize it for guys like The Rock and whatever, and Stone Cold, but I mean, even then um, I think their work is just overlooked, and as their whole careers are just overlooked, and people don't really pay attention to what they actually did. Um, during that time period. And I'll admit, Stone Cold, he might have cut one solid promo or two, but I wasn't really feeling the rest. Like it was funny to me, but it wasn't exactly solid. Uh, and it wasn't consistent. Same with Mankind. He had some really just intense promos, unforgettable promos, but his work, they just wasn't consistent, and matches were just, a lot of them actually were just boring, and there wasn't really anything going on, and uh, and yeah, it was it wasn't. I don't think it's as good as people say it is. Once you look at it objectively and you look at each wrestler um, for what they have done, um, um, and another thing I wanted to add was the Undertaker's. What's Can't remember. It was that corporation something came uh can't remember what it was called, but it's basically the something about the corporation um, and having to do with Vince McMahon uh, being the leader of such and such group. Oh yeah, corporate ministry. I got it now. Yeah, I didn't like that one. That was just I thought that was pretty awful story wise and gimmick wise because it wasn't consistent with the Undertaker's persona and who he was as a wrestler. Uh, I thought that was pretty bad, honestly. Uh, so yeah, pretty much. I don't think that the Attitude Era is as good as other eras that I've seen. They might have come up with the only thing I give it credit for is coming up with some memorable storylines and characters, but that's about it. Uh, so, what do you guys think? Do you think the Attitude Era is overrated? Is underrated? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week.